You're about to waste thousands on a refrigerator that's quietly engineered to fail. The brands you trust most, Samsung, LG, Whirlpool, are the same ones leaving families with spoiled food and repair bills bigger than the fridge itself. After 15 years in this industry, I've watched manufacturers trade reliability for profit margins while families pay the price. Today, I'm revealing the refrigerator brands that'll bankrupt you in 2026, the killer features engineered to fail, and the models that'll cost you thousands before they hit year 3. And that final brand, the failure rate is so catastrophic that repair techs won't even touch them. You need to know which one it is before you sign that receipt. Let's get into it. 10. LG refrigerators with linear compressors. Let's start with one of the most heavily advertised innovations in refrigeration, LG's linear compressor technology. It sounds impressive in the showroom. Quieter operation, more efficient, longer lasting. The salesman will tell you it's the future of refrigeration. Here's what they don't tell you. LG linear compressors have one of the highest failure rates in the industry. And when they fail, they take your entire refrigerator with them. Here's why linear compressors fail so frequently. LG's linear compressor has a piston slamming back and forth thousands of times a day. More moving parts, more friction, more ways to die. And here's the worst part. LG marketed these compressors with a 10-year warranty. Sounds great, right? Wrong. That warranty only covers the compressor itself, not the labor to replace it, not the refrigerant, not the diagnosis fees, not the food you lose when it dies. And many consumers report that LG makes the warranty claim process deliberately difficult, requiring multiple service calls, extensive documentation, and waiting weeks for parts while your food spoils. Repair technicians have told me privately that they've stopped recommending LG refrigerators to friends and family specifically because of linear compressor failures. When the people who fix appliances for a living won't recommend a brand, that should tell you everything. Bought an LG French door in 2022. Month 8, compressor started clicking, fixed under warranty, died again 6 months later. Same part, $400 in spoiled food, twice. They didn't fix the design, they fixed the lawsuit. LG doesn't sell refrigerators anymore. They sell hope with a 3-year fuse. But LG isn't alone. Samsung got sued twice over the same defect and kept selling it anyway. 9. Samsung French door refrigerators with ice makers. Samsung refrigerators photograph like a dream and break like a nightmare. Sleek designs, modern features, touchscreens, smart connectivity. They look amazing in showrooms. But there's a reason appliance repair technicians call certain Samsung models money pits. According to warranty claim data, Samsung French door refrigerators, particularly models with built-in ice makers in the freezer, have an ice maker failure rate exceeding 40% within 3 years. 4 out of 10 units will have ice maker problems requiring service. Repair techs call Samsung owners repeat customers, and they don't mean it as a compliment. But the ice maker failure is just the beginning. The real problem is that when Samsung ice makers fail, they often cause cascading damage to other systems in the refrigerator. Samsung has faced multiple class action lawsuits over these ice maker failures. In 2017, they settled one lawsuit but admitted no wrongdoing and continued selling refrigerators with the same problematic design. Settled in court, changed nothing in the factory. Consumer Reports removed Samsung refrigerators from their recommended list in 2020 specifically because of reliability concerns related to ice makers and cooling system failures. And here's what makes this even more frustrating. Samsung's customer service has a reputation for being difficult to work with on warranty claims. Multiple consumers report being told that ice buildup is normal operation, or that they're not using the refrigerator correctly, even when the failure is clearly a design flaw. Family Hub, $3,400. Ice maker froze solid 3 times in year 1. Samsung said it was normal operation. Normal, 3 times. Ice makers are just the start. The next premium feature has a 31% higher failure rate, and it's on every showroom floor. And hey, if this kind of buyer protection advice is saving you thousands, hit that subscribe button now. 8. Any refrigerator with a touchscreen display. Smart refrigerators with touchscreen displays are the latest trend in kitchen appliances. Manufacturers like Samsung, LG, and GE are pushing these heavily. Control your fridge from your phone. See inside without opening the door. Stream music while you cook. It all sounds amazing until you understand the failure rates and repair costs associated with these electronic systems. According to appliance reliability data, refrigerators with integrated touchscreen systems have a 31% higher failure rate than comparable models without touchscreens. And when these systems fail, repair costs are astronomical. Here's the fundamental problem with smart refrigerators. They combine two completely different types of technology that age at different rates and have different failure modes. The refrigeration components, compressor, evaporator, condenser, are mechanical systems designed to last 10 to 15 years with proper maintenance. But the electronic touchscreen, control boards, and smart connectivity features are consumer electronics that typically have much shorter lifespans. Your smartphone gets slow and outdated after 3 to 4 years. The same technology in your refrigerator ages the same way, except you can't easily upgrade it. You're essentially duct taping an iPad to a refrigerator and hoping it lasts a decade. Spoiler, it won't. The software becomes obsolete, the hardware fails, and you're stuck with a $4,000 refrigerator that can't be properly controlled. The screen on my GE profile stopped responding 14 months in. Quote to fix, $1,100 for a screen on a refrigerator. Bought a tablet for $200 and stuck it on my wall instead. If you're buying a refrigerator in 2026, skip the smart features. Get a reliable refrigerator that does one thing well, keeps your food cold. You already have a smartphone for everything else. But smart features aren't the only modern upgrade that'll cost you. The next design flaw affects some of the most popular refrigerator styles on the market. 7. Counter-depth refrigerators with inadequate ventilation. Counter-depth refrigerators are extremely popular right now. They sit flush with your cabinets, creating a sleek built-in look without the cost of an actual built-in unit. Every home improvement show features them. Every kitchen remodel includes them. But there's a serious problem with many counter-depth models that manufacturers don't adequately disclose. They sacrifice the ventilation space that refrigerators need to operate efficiently and reliably. According to thermal engineering studies, refrigerators need adequate airflow around the condenser coils to dissipate heat effectively. When that airflow is restricted, the compressor works harder, runs hotter, and wears out faster. Studies show that refrigerators operating with inadequate ventilation experience compressor failures at nearly double the rate of properly ventilated units. That's a 100% increase in failure risk just from the installation style. If you're set on a counter-depth refrigerator in 2026, make sure you choose a model specifically engineered for limited clearance. Look for brands like Sub-Zero or Thermador that design their counter-depth models with enhanced cooling systems, or install proper ventilation modifications before the refrigerator goes in. Better yet, consider a standard depth refrigerator. The extra few inches of depth aren't worth the thousands in premature compressor failure and increased energy costs. But even properly ventilated refrigerators can fail if they have this next problematic feature that's become standard on mid-range models. 6. Refrigerators with through-the-door ice and water dispensers. Through-the-door ice and water dispensers seem like a must-have feature. No opening the freezer for ice, no water pitcher in the fridge. Just press a button and get ice or cold water instantly. But appliance repair data tells a different story. Refrigerators with through-the-door dispensers have approximately 35% more service calls than models without them. These dispensers are mechanical complexity waiting to fail. Here's why through-the-door dispensers fail so frequently. They require water lines to run through the hinge area of the freezer door, a part that flexes thousands of times over the refrigerator's life. These water lines are plastic tubing exposed to freezing temperatures. Plastic becomes brittle when repeatedly frozen. Brittle plastic cracks. The ice dispensing mechanism involves augers, motors, chutes, and actuators, all operating in a freezing environment where frost buildup is inevitable. Frost jams mechanisms. Motors burn out trying to force frozen components to move. The water dispenser requires switches, valves, and seals that are exposed to both freezing temperatures and constant use. These components wear out, leak, or fail electrically, And here's a problem nobody talks about: sanitation. Those water lines and ice storage areas are notoriously difficult to clean. Mold and bacteria can grow in the ice maker and water dispenser systems. Multiple studies have found concerning levels of bacterial contamination in home ice makers and water dispensers. Manufacturers don't provide adequate instructions for cleaning these systems, and most consumers never clean them at all. You're potentially drinking water and eating ice from a system that hasn't been properly sanitized in years. Water dispenser leaked for months before we noticed. Mold behind the wall. $3,200 fridge turned into a $6,000 kitchen renovation. If you're buying a refrigerator in 2026, seriously consider skipping the through-the-door dispenser. Get a model with an ice maker in the freezer that you access by opening the door. Keep a water pitcher with a filter in the fridge. You'll have far fewer repairs, lower maintenance, and better sanitation. But dispensers aren't the only convenience feature that'll cost you. The next item affects a refrigerator style that's in millions of American kitchens. 5. Bottom freezer refrigerators. Bottom freezer refrigerators put the fresh food section at eye level and the freezer in a pull-out drawer below. It's an ergonomic design that makes sense. You access the refrigerator more frequently than the freezer, so why bend down every time? But certain bottom freezer models have a critical design flaw that leads to catastrophic cooling failures, and it's not always obvious which models are affected. The problem centers around the defrost drain. In a bottom freezer configuration, the drain has to move water from the freezer section up and over to the drain pan underneath. If that drain line freezes or clogs, water backs up into the freezer and eventually the fresh food section. Consumer Reports identified specific GE, Frigidaire, and Kenmore bottom freezer models with defrost drain problems, but the issue affects various brands and models. The problem is that there's no easy way to know if a specific model is affected until you experience the failure yourself. Repair technicians report that bottom freezer drain issues are among the most frequent service calls they receive, and many consumers are frustrated because the problem keeps coming back even after repairs. If you're considering a bottom freezer refrigerator in 2026, research the specific model thoroughly. Look for reviews mentioning drain issues, ice buildup, or water leakage. Ask the salesperson directly if that model has a history of defrost drain problems, and consider extended warranties that cover this type of failure. Or better yet, choose a top freezer model. They're simpler, more reliable, and gravity works in your favor for drainage. That was the feature failures, the ice makers, the touch screens, the dispenser nightmares. Now we're getting into something worse: the brands themselves. Companies trading on names they no longer deserve, charging premium prices for budget engineering. This is where it gets personal. 4. Frigidaire Gallery and Professional Series. Frigidaire is like that reliable friend who got bought out by private equity. Same name, different person, worse results. For decades, they built solid, dependable refrigerators that lasted 15 to 20 years with minimal service. Once the fridge your grandparents trusted, now a gamble with your groceries. But something changed when the brand was acquired by Electrolux. Repair technicians report that Frigidaire units, particularly in the gallery and professional lines, have higher rates of compressor failure, electronic control failure, and ice maker problems than comparable models from other brands. Consumer reviews across multiple platforms echo the same themes. Frigidaire refrigerators look good initially, but develop problems within the first 1 to 3 years. Service experiences are frustrating. Build quality feels cheaper than the price point suggests. And here's a particularly concerning trend. Multiple consumers report that Frigidaire warranty service is difficult to access. Wait times for authorized service are long. Parts availability is inconsistent. Some consumers wait weeks for repairs on refrigerators that should be covered under warranty. Frigidaire Professional, $2,800. Month 6, ice maker sounded like a blender full of rocks. Month 9, fridge stopped holding temp. Repair guy laughed. Said he sees these weekly. Legacy name, budget quality, premium disappointment. If you're shopping in 2026, the Frigidaire Gallery and Professional Series don't represent good value despite their attractive pricing. You'll save a few $100s up front, but spend that and more on repairs within a few years. But Frigidaire isn't the only established brand that's declined in quality. The next manufacturer on our list might surprise you. 3. Whirlpool French door models, 2020 to 2024. Whirlpool is one of the oldest and most trusted names in appliances. Today, they're still selling the reputation, but not always the reliability. They've been building refrigerators for over a century, but their French door models from 2020 to 2024 have developed a troubling pattern of failures that should concern anyone considering a purchase in 2026. The specific issue affects multiple model lines: cooling system failures where the fresh food section stops maintaining proper temperature while the freezer continues to work. This indicates a problem with the air distribution system between compartments. Here's what makes this particularly frustrating. Whirlpool has issued multiple service bulletins to technicians about these issues, acknowledging the problems exist, but they haven't issued recalls or offered proactive solutions to consumers who own affected models. Service bulletins for technicians, silence for customers. Consumer complaints on appliance forums and review sites show a clear pattern. Whirlpool French door models from this generation have significantly higher failure rates than their side-by-side and top freezer models from the same time period. The problems aren't limited to cooling issues. Multiple reports of ice maker failures, electronic control glitches, and compressor problems appear in consumer reviews for these specific models. 3 years of dependable Whirlpool. Freezer perfect, fridge running 45 degrees Fahrenheit no matter the setting. Tech said it's the damper, known issue, known. But they sold it anyway. If you're considering a Whirlpool refrigerator in 2026, avoid French door models from their 2020 to 2024 production years if you're buying used or clearance. If buying new, ask specifically what design changes have been implemented to address the air tower and damper issues. Whirlpool's side-by-side and top freezer models from the same era have better reliability records. The problems seem concentrated in their French door line, but even avoiding problematic brands and styles isn't enough if you fall for the next one. 2. Built-in refrigerators. Unless you're wealthy, built-in refrigerators are the ultimate luxury appliance. Brands like Sub-Zero, Thermador, and Viking charge $8,000 to $15,000 for refrigerators that integrate seamlessly with cabinetry. They look incredible, they're status symbols, and they're one of the worst investments you can make unless you're genuinely wealthy. Here's the reality. Built-in refrigerators cost 3 to 5 times more than freestanding models with similar capacity and features. A 42-inch built-in Sub-Zero costs around $12,000. A comparable freestanding model costs $3,000 to $4,000. But the real financial pain comes with repairs and maintenance. Built-in refrigerator components are proprietary and expensive. A compressor replacement for a Sub-Zero can cost $2,500 to $4,000. The same repair on a standard refrigerator costs $800 to $1,200. Here's what you need to understand. Built-in refrigerators aren't inherently more reliable than quality freestanding models. Sub-Zero has good reliability ratings, but they're not 3 to 4 times more reliable than a good Bosch or KitchenAid freestanding unit. You're paying for the built-in aesthetic, the cabinet flush design, the custom panels, the integration with your kitchen. From a pure refrigeration standpoint, a $4,000 freestanding refrigerator keeps food just as cold as a $14,000 built-in. And here's the hidden cost. Built-ins are difficult and expensive to replace. They're designed to last 15 to 20 years because replacing one requires potentially modifying cabinetry. If your built-in fails catastrophically at year 12, you're facing not just the cost of a new refrigerator, but potentially thousands in cabinet modifications. With a freestanding refrigerator, replacement is simple. Disconnect, roll it out, roll the new one in. With a built-in, you might need a carpenter, an electrician, and possibly a plumber if water lines need rerouting. If you're buying a refrigerator in 2026 and your budget is $10,000 plus, put that money toward a high-quality freestanding model, $3,000, and invest the other $7,000 in something that appreciates or generates return. The built-in refrigerator is purely aesthetic expense with no functional benefit. But luxury models aren't the only refrigerators that'll drain your wallet. The next category affects budget shoppers who think they're getting deals. 1. Cafe Appliances, GE's premium line. Cafe is GE's attempt to create a premium appliance brand to compete with higher-end manufacturers. They feature matte finishes, customizable hardware, modern designs, and price tags that match their upscale positioning. Cafe refrigerators typically cost $2,800 to $4,500. It's like paying Gucci prices for H&M stitching, beautiful packaging, budget guts. Here's the problem. They're essentially rebranded GE appliances with cosmetic upgrades, but they're priced like premium brands with better engineering. You're paying luxury prices for mid-grade reliability. According to aggregated consumer reviews and repair data, Cafe refrigerators have failure rates comparable to standard GE models, but cost 40 to 60% more. You're not getting better compressors, more durable components, or superior engineering. You're getting nicer handles and matte black stainless steel. Repair technicians report that Cafe appliances have the same reliability issues as standard GE products: compressor failures, ice maker problems, electronic control issues, and defrost system failures. But repairs cost significantly more because of the premium branding. Consumer Reports doesn't rate Cafe appliances separately from GE because they're essentially the same products. But consumers shopping for Cafe think they're getting something substantially better than GE, when in reality, they're paying for aesthetics. Here's what makes this particularly frustrating. For the $3,900 that couple paid for their Cafe refrigerator, they could have bought a legitimate premium brand with superior engineering and reliability. A Bosch, KitchenAid, or even an entry-level Sub-Zero could have been purchased for similar money with significantly better reliability and longevity. Cafe French door, $3,900, because we wanted something nice. Compressor failed at month 26, quote, $2,100 for the same part that goes in a $1,800 GE. Never again. If you're shopping in 2026 and you're attracted to Cafe appliances for their aesthetic, understand what you're buying. GE reliability at luxury prices. If you want to spend $3,000 to $4,000 on a refrigerator, invest in brands with engineering and reliability that match the price point. All style, no substance. Maximum regret. Cafe appliances don't fail dramatically. They fail quietly, right after your warranty ends, when the replacement bill hurts the most. You don't lose your fridge in a blaze of smoke. You lose it slowly through repairs, parts delays, and mounting costs. So, what should you buy instead? After exposing all these brands and features to avoid, you're probably wondering what refrigerators are actually reliable in 2026. Based on aggregated repair data, consumer reports, and technician recommendations, here are the brands and configurations with the best reliability. Coming first is top freezer models from Whirlpool and GE. These simple configurations have the fewest failure points and longest average lifespans. They're not trendy, but they work. They're ugly, they're boring, and they'll still be running when your neighbor is shopping for fridge number 2. And next is side-by-side models from LG without the linear compressor, Samsung without ice makers, and KitchenAid. When you avoid the problematic features, these brands offer good value. Remember Bosch refrigerators? They generally have above-average reliability across their product line. They cost more upfront, so you don't keep paying later in repairs and frustration. Bosch doesn't win on showroom hype. They win by still running quietly a decade later. Another good option is the good old Speed Queen, if you can find their refrigerators. They're known for building commercial-grade appliances for home use, though availability is limited. The key is choosing simple configurations from reliable brands. Fewer features mean fewer failure points. A basic refrigerator without ice makers, water dispensers, touchscreens, or smart features will outlast and outperform complex models. Look for models with traditional rotary compressors, simple mechanical thermostats or proven electronic controls, adequate ventilation space, and minimal through-the-door features. And consider buying extended warranties from reputable third parties, not the manufacturer, for any refrigerator over $1,500. The The $200 to $300 you spend on a good extended warranty can save you thousands if the compressor fails. That's the list. 10 refrigerator traps that'll drain your wallet, and the simple configurations that'll actually last. If this saved you from one bad purchase, it already earned your subscription. And if your fridge is already acting up, drop your story in the comments. Your mistake might save someone else thousands.